So in Unit 2, Section 1 here, we're solving one-step equations. And before we can even start talking about solving one-step equations, let's get some vocabulary out of the way here. Number one, a replacement set is a set of numbers that can be used to replace a variable. A solution set is the set of numbers that make a statement true, and an equation is when you have an algebraic expression equal to another algebraic expression. If you need a couple of minutes to jot this down, go ahead and pause the video and come back when you're done. Otherwise, what we're going to be doing is using these replacement sets, these are the numbers that we get to choose from, to solve each of the following equations. Now, in the first set, we have x is equal to 0, 3, 5, 8, and 10. Those are the only numbers I get to choose from for when we're using x as the variable. And then y is equal to 12, 17, 18, 21, and 25. Those are the only numbers I get to choose from for when we have y as the variable, as we do in problems numbers 1 and 3. In number 1, when we solve for y, what number minus 12 is equal to 9? Well, y would be equal to 21, right? And since 21 is a part of our replacement set, the solution is y is equal to 21. In number 2, now we're looking at the x set. What number, when you take it times 3 and then add 7, you get 31? Well, 3 times 8 is 24. 24 plus 7 is 31, so x would be equal to 8. That's our solution set. In number 3, what number do you subtract 3, then divide by 2, you get 4? Well, the number minus 3 would have to be equal to 8, because 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. What number do we have in our replacement set? Can we subtract 3 and get 8? Well, there is no number, because that number would be 11. 11 minus 3 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Y would be equal to 11, but it's not in our replacement set, so this one would actually be no solution. All right, here's what we're going to do to solve an equation. What I want to do is I want to isolate the variable. What does that mean? I want it by itself on the left side of the equal sign. So a couple of things to keep in mind here. Number 1, and go ahead and jot these down. Always keep track of the equal sign. 2, always keep track of what's on each side of the equal sign. You've heard this saying before, that whatever you do to one side of an equation, you have to do to the other side. Well, it's because the equal sign maintains a balance between one side and the other side. So if we add 8 to cancel out minus 8, if we do that to one side, I have to do the same thing to the other side. This minus 8 and plus 8 have now canceled out. I have x all by itself on the left side. On the right side, we just do the math. 8 plus 8 is 16. And number 2, I'm going to cancel out the plus 15 by doing minus 15. So if I do it to one side of the equal sign, I have to do it to the other side of the equal sign. Plus 15 minus 15 will cancel out. I get x equals, and then on the right side, just do the math. Negative 32 minus 15, negative 47. Number 3 looks a little bit different, because m is now on the right side of the equal sign, but it doesn't change the rule. The rule is cancel out the number that's with the variable. I have a 9 that's on that side of the equal sign. I want to cancel it out, so I need to do plus 9. Well, I go to the other side of the equal sign and I do the same thing, and I get negative 44 is equal to m. What are you going to do in number 4? We want to cancel out the minus 4.1. Have you figured it out yet? Well, to cancel out minus 4.1, you need to do plus 4.1. Whatever you do to one side, go to the other side of the equal sign and do the same thing. D is equal to what? 6.8. In number 5, here's your equal sign. Always keep track of that. We need to cancel out the 21. It is a positive 21, so it'll take a negative 21 to cancel that out. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. X is equal to negative 23. In number 6, we want to subtract the 5 from both sides of the equal sign. We get n is equal to negative 15. Let's go on to page 2. Now, number 7, and you want to write this down, make sure you understand that minus a negative, anytime you see minus a negative, it actually means plus a positive. So make the minus sign a plus sign, make the negative a positive. What this is really saying is x plus 6 is equal to 3, and what we have to do is subtract 6 from both sides. X equals negative 3. Number 8, minus a negative means plus a positive. Change both signs. What you really have here is negative 1 is equal to c plus 9. What you're going to do is subtract 9 from both sides. Negative 10 is equal to c. In number 9, don't get freaked out about the fraction. Just because it says minus 5/6, you don't need to worry. 1, you have a calculator to handle all the fractions. And number 2, just because it is a fraction, it doesn't change the rule. And the rule is cancel out minus 5/6. How do you cancel a minus? Well, you use a plus. So add 5/6 to both sides. What you'll do is you'll add 2/3 and 5/6 together. And what do you get? Plug that into your calculators right now. And if you came up with 9/6, you're going to want to reduce that and get 3/2 or 1/2. Number 10. Now things change here a little bit because now I'm canceling out times. This is negative 7 times x. What will cancel out times? Well, it's divide. Show me divide by putting just a fraction bar on both sides. Now think about what's going to happen when I put a negative 7 underneath. Negative 7 divided by negative 7 is positive 1. So negative 7x divided by negative 7 is positive 1x. Well, we're going to do the same thing to the other side of the equal sign and get negative 4. In number 11, we're canceling out times here. Negative 13 times g. How do you cancel times? Well, divide. So you're going to divide both sides by negative 13. 3 is equal to g. Number 12, you're going to divide both sides by 16. Whatever the number is that's with the variable, that's the number you want to cancel. Think about what you have here. This is negative 8 over 16. It's not negative 2. Reduce this fraction, negative 1/2. Number 13, how do you cancel multiplying by a fraction? To cancel times a fraction, you could divide by the fraction, but instead I want you to multiply by the reciprocal. So in other words, if I had a 5 in the numerator, it would cancel out the 5 in the denominator. If I had a 3 in the denominator, it would cancel out the 3 in the numerator. Always think cancel. What will it take to cancel the number that's with the variable? Well, it takes 5/3. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. N is equal to 10. How do you cancel? Now in number 14, this fraction bar means divide. How do you cancel divide? Well, you multiply. Here's what I want you to do to show me that you're canceling the divide by 3. Just simply multiply by 3. H is equal to negative 27. Number 15, if you need to, divide both sides by 2.5. You've got a calculator that'll do that. X equals negative 4. Translate the following into equations. First thing you want to do when you're translating into an equation is find the equal sign. And here it is. This phrase right here, is equal to, means the equal sign, obviously, right? So something's equal to 5. Well, we have a number d. Increased by means plus, so d plus 14 equals 5. If you are going to solve this, we need to have minus 14 on both sides, and d would equal to negative 9. 7 less than a number C is the same as negative 11. Is the same as, there's your equal sign. So something's equal to negative 11. But how would you write 7 less than a number C? Well, think about this. What's 7 less than your age? Wouldn't you take your age minus 7? 7 less than means you reverse the order. We're going to take C minus 7. That's 7 less than a number C. Adding 7 to both sides, you get C is equal to negative 4. The sum of a number, let's take that out of there. The sum of a number G and 3/4 is 1/8. Well, is your equal sign. So something is 1/8. The sum of a number G and 3/4. The sum means add, so G plus 3/4 is equal to 1/8. You're going to subtract 3/4 from both sides. You get negative 5/8. Good luck on your assignment. We'll see you in class.